Hello, my guys, and welcome back to yet another exciting edition of Fanfic by the Fireside. Today, we have quite a treat for you. I have, on my very own, found an author by the name of Terry Lynch. All of this work is completely his, and we're going to try something different from last time. I have 5 short stories for you that are going to be read for the first time by Luke, the Vampire Lord of Sex, O'Brien.
I've literally not seen them.
I know, not at all. It's gonna be good. They're so fucking good.
I have a vague idea what they are, but
I know. I gave you like a bunch of tips, but
yeah.
Let's do this. I'm so excited.
Okay.
Alright. This one's called Shrek and Shaq's Euphoric Adventure by Terry Lynch. When crab people threaten the world, Shaq knows that he has to reconcile with an old friend. Kyle's loving this already.
Yeah.
King Bugs Bunny sat at the large round table with the rest of his Looney Tunes cohorts, as well as his Negro basketball playing friends. Holy fuck. There was tension for Bugs' kingdom, as he knew that they were at large risk of going extinct. The threat had been apparent to Bugs, but he ignored it for many years. Every day the crabs were getting more intelligent. Not only that, they were getting stronger too. Bugs knew that something must be done, so he called together his Negro friends. Yikes. We have to bring in Shrek, they all agreed. He's our only hope. It was a grand suggestion, but Shrek, the helpful ogre, lived very far away. It would be a tiring journey for Spencer and his African accomplices. Why do they keep... Okay. Not to mention, the team was very hard to keep under control. There was one African in particular that was quite irritating. This is the most racist thing. He's not African.
I know.
Even to his own team, but they kept him around anyhow. One player was a bit quiet, but he was Bugs' favorite. The man's name was Shaquille O'Neal. While he was taller than the average man, he exhibited great traits of meekness and kindness. He had long enough legs and was physically able enough that he knew for a fact that he could reach Shrek. So Shaq began on his journey to find Shrek, the key to stopping this crab war dead in its tracks. Just forgot about the crab war, almost there. All the other racism made me forget about the crab war. When Shrek saw Shaq, he bellowed out a roar. "You're in my swamp now." Shrek had a large smile on his face and charged at Shaq. Picked him up and gave him a great big hug. "Hello, me old boy. I haven't seen you in a while. Why is he English?" At first, Shaq was confused, but after a few more words, he realized the familiarity in Shrek's voice and his eyes lit up with joy. "Shrek, my brother, how have you been?" Yikes. Shrek and Shaq were old friends dating way back to their days in college together. When Shrek couldn't make it on the basketball team with Shaq, he had decided to move out to his swamp in isolation. Shaq and Shrek set out together on their grand journey to help Bugs stop the crab war before it could happen. When they made it, they were immediately encountered by the guard crabs. Shrek began firing his onion launcher at the crustaceans, inciting a battle. Shaq pulled out his basketballs and began bouncing them on the crab guards' heads. This just irritated them instead of inflicting damage, so Shaq backed off. "Let me take it from here," yelled Shrek in a courageous voice. He pulled out his onion pistols and began firing rounds at the crabs. The crabs fled for their lives. They just couldn't handle the onion. Shaq thanked Shrek for his courageous attitude, and the two were closer than they had started off that day. Shrek was happy for his new friend. They looked at each other and embraced in a dramatic bro hug with firm pats on each other's backs. They were the saviors of Bugs' kingdom, and he awarded them with mansions of gold. "I cannot accept this, Ladda." So L-A-D-D-E-H. Laddie? Oh, Laddie? Oh, I gotcha.
Cannot.
Yikes. "I must return to my swamp." A single tear rolled down Shaq's cheek, and he knew it was time to say goodbye to his old friend. They shared one more bro hug before departing. "Wait," screamed Shrek. "I give you my onion launcher." Shaq was grateful, and this gift brought a smile to Shaq's face, coupled with more tears. "I got something for you too, my brother," said Shaq. Holy shit.
He's black.
He's black, remember?
He's black.
He's African, apparently.
Yeah. The African player, Shaquille O'Neal.
He pulled out a bottle of his special Gold Bond lotion and gave it to Shrek.
I use Gold Bond.
"Thanks, Laddie. You and I both know this will go to good use." Shrek gave a little wink to Shaq, and they shook hands and went their separate ways, sad that they had to leave each other again, but more rich in spirit from the experience.
Wow. I mean, just take a bigger swig, maybe.
What the fuck was that?
Hey man, that's number one.
Oh, good.
So what'd you think? What'd you think of that one?
It's just like nothing happens except racism. Like it's just racist.
And
It's just like it's a
reason.
fundamental misunderstanding of what black people are, and then like a fundamental misunderstanding of what accent fucking Mike Myers was going for there. Hey, latte. Hello, me old friend. It's me, Scotland. Fuck.
A tragic story. Tragic story we never wanted to hear once in our life. Batman Leaves the Justice League by Terry Lynch. A sad story. Check out my others if you enjoy. Leaving the Justice League. One day when Bruce Wayne woke up in his mansion, he called for Alfred, his longtime butler. Alfred didn't respond. Bruce called for him again, of course. Waiting for a few moments, Bruce went to see if everything was alright. Bruce knocked on Alfred's door. No response. Bruce walked to his bedside. Bruce noticed that Alfred was unresponsive to everything. Alfred died peacefully in his sleep due to natural causes. Bruce was in shock. His longtime friend and only member of his family, gone. More importantly, Alfred was the only person Bruce could trust. There's so many mosquitoes around me. It pains me.
They want you.
Yeah, they want me.
You're Bruce Wayne.
I'm Mosquito Man, haha. Immediately, Bruce walked down to his Batcave and turned on the Bat computer and sent a message to the Justice League, titled Urgent Meeting. When the Justice League came to the Watchtower for the meeting, Batman announced that he would be resigning from the Justice League. His reasoning being that everyone that gets close to him ends up resenting him and shunning him, or they end up dying in front of him. Okay. Martian Manhunter and Superman were the first ones to speak up about Batman's insane proposal. They both thought that would put the whole world at risk, since he was the world's greatest detective. No matter what member of the Justice League gave their reasoning as to why this was a horrible idea, Batman just sat there. Oh my god. Honest thinking.
Yeah.
Oh good. And there's hundreds of bugs in my drink.
Perfect.
This was a brief meeting. As soon as the meeting ended, Batman made his rounds, saying goodbye to his fellow comrades. The last words Batman said were, "I now leave the Justice League to John Johns." Martian Manhunter. Once Bruce returned to Wayne Mansion, he initiated the self-destruction
Wayne Manor.
sequence to his home.
It's Wayne Manor, not Wayne Mansion.
This
Yeah,
is a
he's
fan.
wrong.
This is a fan fiction.
Who's fan fiction?
He's fundamentally wrong, though. Is what he's saying.
Who's
Yeah.
fan fiction?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's
Just
a man.
somebody.
It's a random man.
Yeah, it's a random man.
Well, he needs to get his fucking words straight.
Okay.
A lot of anger.
Hey, you don't.
Hey, I'm just saying, if
you
you're
don't
gonna write
fucking
fan
hear about
fiction,
Batman
write a fan
stuff.
fiction like a fan would write it. Not just some guy who saw The Dark Knight and decided, hey, I'm a really big Batman fan. I'm gonna tattoo it on my left pectoral, and I'm the biggest.
Once Bruce returned to the Wayne Mansion, he initiated the self-destruction sequence to his home, destroying everything in the process. Months after the explosion, Bruce Wayne seemingly disappeared from the face of the earth. He didn't disappear. That's the next period right after. He didn't disappear. Bruce decided to live in isolation. Isolation in a small cottage in Europe for the rest of his life, period, end. That's it. That's the whole. It's 2 paragraphs. It's this fan fiction.
Just a quick one while he was on the train.
2 like sophomore paragraphs about how Bruce Wayne quit the Justice League because Alfred died, and then blew himself up. But didn't actually. Now he lives in a small cottage in Europe for the rest of his life. He had to get away from it. I don't know.
Yeah, he just had to get away
Just
from it
couldn't
all.
stand it.
I mean, he couldn't just drag that nuke into the ocean.
No, he couldn't. Wow. Fuck me.
All because of Alfred?
Like the Joba Chamberlain fucking bug game.
Brilliant in the 7th. Pestered in the 8th.
The ALDS.
Oh my god.
Do you fucking remember that?
Yeah, that was
That's
fucking
exactly what's
insane.
happening right now. I'm Joba Chamberlain. Fuck. This is Arnold and the Jocks. There's so many mosquitoes. Arnold's riding his bike home when he decides to use the restroom. He soon learns this is a terrible mistake. Arnold was riding his bike down home one night when he had to piss. He was rolling past the high school football locker and decided to stop and pee. Arnold felt that he liked peeing with sitting down, and so he went into the stall. As soon as they're in my eyes, as soon as he sat down on the toilet and entered the room, that was one sick ass throw, bruh. If only you could catch like that, was the first thing Arnold heard. Then he heard the door to the locker room. All right, guys, the coaches all left. You know what that means. Get your footballs out, groaned one. Arnold was scared. He was locked up in a room with a bunch of overly hyped swag fags.
Oh, wow.
And the only thing keeping them from being aware of his presence was one small toilet door. He heard what sounded like sandpaper being scratched on the wooden surface. Oh yeah, grip that big skin, Daniel. Grip it good, he heard one say. To which Daniel replied, yeah, oh fuck. Jesus. Oh fuck, this is unreal. Oh god. To which Daniel, to which Daniel replied, yeah, Carter, I wish this football was the one Tom Brady deflated. Arnold felt violated already. He knew something was very wrong. He also knew that he could try to escape through the window opposite of the door. He went for it. He of course forgot to tie his shoes and tripped over the second he left the stall. Wow, what the fuck, he heard the kid he knew as Daniel say. He now saw Daniel was a 6-foot-tall, blonde, gay-looking kid with a massive pompadour. He also saw that there were about 20 more boys with him. After this, the second thing he noticed was that they all had footballs with drilled-in fleshlights on their penises. Fucking shit, we're busted, Daniel yelled scared. Wait a second, started Carter, who he was now saw as being a massively obese bald kid. His head kind of looks like a football. Oh yeah, said another random boy. Kind of like it does. Oh god.
Let's get this on you.
Quick. Get the fucking bugs away from me.
All over the fucking...
Oh, my fucking eyes.
Yeah, close
It's like being maced.
Close them.
Right next to a fire. Do this at home. It kind of does. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? Eagerly said Daniel. They all agreed. Without a second to spare, all four boys, oh god, pinned Arnold while two ripped his clothes off. He was gonna scream, but before he could, a massive chode was deep in his mouth. It was massive in girth, but tiny in length. Arnold's jaw burned as the slimy burrito went in and out, almost tearing his cheeks apart. In fact, during one of the thrusts, the seams of his mouth widened and ripped a little bit. Within about 3 minutes, the chode exploded an underwhelming amount of cum inside his mouth. Arnold considered himself lucky. After this, the jocks lifted him up and... Oh! Oh, fuck. Lifted him up and put him on the bench. Ass up. They started cheering, spit roast, spit roast, spit roast. Then Carter, with all his weight, pressed down on Arnold's backside. He knew what was coming. A very greasy, large penis entered Arnold's asshole, tearing the sides, making a noise that echoed throughout the room. He would have screamed, but Daniel had already shoved his long, skinny dick down Arnold's throat. He was helpless, feeling both the one-eyed monsters going in both sides was the most miserable thing Arnold had ever felt and would ever feel. The rest of the boys all surrounded him, stroking their penises at once. All right, bros, get ready to come. Yep. One of them yelled as they started counting 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Arnold braced for the impact. 1. At all once, the two boys in his mouth and ass and all the boys surrounding him jizzed. The cum went everywhere, all over him and inside of him. He was covered head to toe, inside and out. Daniel pulled his cock out, and then Carl pulled out of Arnold's butthole, cum leaking out of both ends, and blood leaking out of his ass. After this, the jocks took showers like it never happened, and then carried Arnold into a nearby ditch. They laughed as they threw him in, and then walked off the end. Holy fuck.
The end. Yeah.
Look at these goddamn bugs. Like,
Thousands.
oh god, they're all over me. It's hard. I don't know if you can. I gotta... Jesus. Look at these fucking things. Fuck you. Also, fuck you.